not to be that person, but if anything happens to me, it's because of my soon to be ex-husband and nobody else. I'm sitting in my car trying to get ready to go to the police station, to the police department, because of the ongoing harassment. There's a no contact order, and apparently it's different from a restraining order and some other orders. But after he had kidnapped our baby, after kicking down my door and punching, leaving a bruise, a black eye on one of my other children, throw my other one to the ground, there was an immediate no contact order placed when he went to jail for all of those felony charges he just did, the things I just listed. Anyway, I jumped states, not even the next state away, just many different states, so that in hopes that I could really just start over, not walk around in disguise, put my kids back in public school. And all the while we get down here and one of my kids start peeing the bed. The other one can't sleep in the dark anymore. Has to have night lights plugged in every outlet. And he's affecting me. That's how he affected the children. How he affects me is, like I said, having I don't know, adrenaline, severe anxiety, maybe panic attack, maybe even while I have these unexpected, uninvited visitors coming to my door all hours of the day and night. The police just came Saturday at 5 p.m., interrupted family movie time. And then they came Sunday at 8 p.m. And, we're in the middle of getting ready for bed and stuff, wrapping up movie night and stuff. And I'm getting this unfriendly knock and doorbell ring at my front door, and I go and look out the window, and sure enough, it's a freaking officer. And I'm like, I don't need the harassment. I didn't call them, and my kids don't need a well child check. They don't. This is all being stimulated. This all stems from a vendetta, animosity towards me. All I did was the best thing that I was supposed to do, which is provide a safe place for my kids. And he didn't like that. So he kicked down my door. And then the next step was, let me continue to provide a safe place for my kids. He doesn't like that. So what does he do? He's calling CPS, making false allegations. He's calling the police department, making false allegations so that they could come and knock and do well child care checks, whatever. And I'm like, I don't deserve any of this. All I'm trying to do, with zero support, zero help. I feel like I don't have anybody to talk to. That's why I'm crying, because there's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. And I honestly really feel like I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't. Yeah, there's domestic violence hotlines and they're helpful advice. And there's a family member or two. Yeah, sure. But I don't want to sit there and burden them with the stuff I'm going through that they have no experience in. So, because this is how I'll sound, and nobody wants to listen to a grown woman cry, and I don't blame them. Sometimes it's in people and sometimes it's not. Excuse me. I don't blame them. Like I said, everybody else has their own issues and going through stuff, but I'm telling you, all right now, I'm at my wits end. I am at my freaking, I promise you, I've established a home, healthcare immediately, education, a whole entire safety. And I don't even feel safe. I did all this and I don't even feel safe now because he has my address. How did he get my address? Because all I did was get a child support statement mailed to where I'm at now. Child support sends whatever document to him with my current address on it after it was stressed why we left, as we were literally traveling down here. This specific caseworker knew the extent of this. And she agreed to keep my address confidential. Did she? Because, like I said, it was released on a piece of paper that they had mailed him. And what did he do with it? Took full advantage and began the harassment. And this began in early April. I left in March, end of March. He didn't even wait a week. He didn't even wait a week before he started the false allegations with CPS. He didn't even wait a week. And then, like I said, the constant cops knocking on my door. I'm not an abusive person. I'm not an abusive parent. I'm not violent. I will protect my kids. You know, and that's, I guess, how anybody would bring out the violent side of any parent, I guess, is to mess with their children. But outside of that, and even then, when he kicked on my door, I still did not strike him. I did not shoot him. I did not stab him. And I would have been in every legal right to do that. I did not, because it's not in me. And so anyway, I'm not going to keep ranting, but I'm just telling you guys, I am tired of it. And my hands are tied. And I'm about to be on the way to the police station to tell them, hey, this guy is still harassing me from Washington. And there's a no contact order. What do you want me to do? And if they turn me away like they did last time, then I'm throwing my hands in the air. And it is what it is. I really don't know. But I don't have a bunch of support here outside of, you know, my church family, and I don't want to burden them. I mean, they're no different from my family members. I don't want to tell them this is what's going on because I look like this stressed out freaking crybaby, you know? I mean, it's not that, I'm not going to say, you know, just, I don't know, it's all my fault or it's not my fault. I'm not saying none of that. All I did was realize who I was married to. And I said, this is not a person. This is not a family person. This is not a family man. This is a whole, lost in the sauce, hard drug user in the closet, unbeknownst to me, until I realized, like I said, and that's when I was like, no. And then my ribs were broke. And then I was like, oh, F no. And then I left with my kids. And then he kicked down my door. And then I left state. And the harassment continues. This does not make sense to me. I need to be left alone so I could raise my kids with a sane, clear, healthy mind. Well rested, you know, healthy, just healthy. I have to be here for my kids. I'm the only one here for my kids, you know, and that's fine by me because I am the best person on earth for them, you know, and that's fine. We've all come to that conclusion, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, I need to be able to function just fine. And it's hard for me to do that when I'm constantly being harassed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if the police are sitting outside waiting for me to open my door so they could finally interview us, so they could finally see, you know, who's lying in this matter. They probably have no idea, these specific officers, because the station knows. I don't know if the specific officers that are coming to my house know they're doing this for literally no reason. You guys are out here based on a call from someone who's not even supposed to have contact with me or any of my children for many years. Many years. And even if I were to tell them that, they'd still come and knock. Just like CPS, because they already know, and they still come and knock with each call. It's their job to investigate. Police departments and CPS, it's their job. So it doesn't matter who calls. It doesn't matter if it's unfounded. It doesn't matter if it's false. They have to investigate anyway. And that's what they're telling me. And I'm like, no. I'm not going to cooperate with this nonsense because this is an utter waste of my energy. And my energy and peace is very important to me, you guys, because of what I'm going through. Like I said, I mean, this is nuts. Imagine going through actual hellfire with kids, or even alone. Doesn't matter. Go through hellfire. I don't care if it's 6 months or 5 years. Go through it. Go through it. And then come to your senses and then go ahead and relocate. Okay? With nothing but a wish, a prayer, some children, and that's it. That's it. And then when you get to that place, tell me how you would feel when you realize the harassment does not stop. It did not stop. You're not breathing a breath of fresh air like you thought you would, because you went such a great distance away from the perpetrator, the abuser, the whatever you want to call it, the drug user, the monster, the demon, whatever you want to call that person, male or female. They are who they are. Imagine how you would feel after making such an adventure, such a travel distance, just for safety and peace, and then you don't even feel safe when you get here, and there is no peace because you're constantly running random scenarios through your head. What do you do when this happens? Then you got to talk to the kids. What do you say when they just come to the school and start interviewing you? What do you guys do in this situation? What would I do in this situation? What would I say when they return? Because we all know that they will, because he's not going to stop calling. You know what I mean? When is this going to end? When can I and my children breathe without stumbling over words? When can we breathe without looking over our shoulders? When can we breathe just perfectly? When can we laugh on an honest, hard laugh? I'm tired of thinking about it. I'm tired of going through it, and I'm not going to keep talking about it. But this is what a single mom looks like. That is has reestablished in a totally entirely different new location, without shelter help, without DV network help, without any social worker or any funding, GoFundMe page, without any of that. This is what a single mom looks like when she's at her wit's end, under a tremendous amount of pressure, all behind an a-hole. And there's no state in the world that seems to freaking care. And they, in fact, the police department, I was going to say TPD, but the police department down here doesn't even know what to do with this situation, because they're unfamiliar. They're unfamiliar, is what they said, with no contact orders or protection orders from another state, and how they could have it be applied here. And I said, you don't know what to do with the situation? So anyway, this is the second time I'm going back down there, because Washington State told me I need to make police reports down here. Okay, well, let's see what Washington State does after I give them all the reports of all the harassments for the past 4 months that I've left. Let's see if Washington State does anything, because they didn't before I left. Keep that in mind. They did nothing. They did nothing. Nothing at all. So again, I'm tired of going through it. I'm tired of thinking about it. The what now and what ifs, and I'm not going to just keep talking about it. So I'm just here being completely transparent, because I do need prayer. My kids need prayer. And if you're not a prayer warrior, then please just skip on over this, because I don't need nothing but prayer in my life, because God himself is the only one to help, to deliver like he did before. To heal my children. He's the only one, to reprimand or, criticize, or, it's not even the correct word, just pretty much reprimand or punish the perpetrators, the harassers, or whatever they're called, the abusers, whatever you want to call them. He's the only one that sees what's going on behind the scenes, and he knows, right from right, wrong from wrong. And so he knows the motives behind things. He knows what's in our hearts, not to be all super religious and stuff, but I guess I am, because like I said, when things are out of your control and out of your hands, you have to go to the one who holds the whole world in his hands and everybody in it. You know what I mean? So I don't think my prayers are enough. So I'm asking for your guys' prayers. Um, I just want to be able to breathe. I just want to be able to rest. I just want to be able to raise. That's it. So, wish me luck, you guys. Peace out.